Hi and welcome back. Today we're going to look at how to install a MyDU server for use on your local machine or on the network. First, let's go grab the server files. Head on over to dualuniverse.game, log in with your existing credentials that you've created from the previous video, and then we'll head on up to the top right corner, go down to My Products, and you should see your MyDU purchase on the screen. If you don't have one, that's okay. You do not need one to download the server files. Let's scroll on all the way down. On the left, hit the blue menu item. That'll take you to the MyDU server files screen. Scroll on down and click Download the server. Once again, you'll see these pop-ups to do with security. So just click on anyway, let the server download, you're good to go. Next, grab the server setup file, which is the documentation for the private server. This is a rudimentary guide on how to get things going, and we'll walk you through these steps to make sure that everything's up and running at the time you finish this video. So, back to our download. Open the file. Click on the wonderful user access control screen, and you'll get this message to say Docker Desktop needs to be installed. So we click on OK there. Right, let's go get us Docker Desktop. Head on into Google, type in Docker Desktop, and it'll take you through to here, which is the docker.com products Docker-desktop. I will also drop this link into the description below. Click on the Download for Windows AMD64. Once again, a new pop-up for your download. And once that's finished downloading, we can run the file. Again, another user access control pop-up. Just click on Accept, and the installation will begin. Now, if you are prompted here for the configuration screen, make sure you enable use WSL2 instead of Hyper-V. This is highly recommended and in fact required for a standard Windows 11 installation. So let's click on OK there. It will unpack and download the necessary files to your computer to run Docker Desktop. With Docker Desktop installed, we can now run Docker Desktop to make sure everything's working as expected. If you are asked to reboot after installing, please do go ahead and reboot. It is important to have the service started and running as expected. Accept the service agreement, and you'll be asked to log in here. You can skip this process if you do so prefer. Skip the survey, and we're there to starting the Docker engine. We're going to want to click on the gear in the top corner for settings, and under the general screen, scroll down and make sure that your use WSL2 based engine is enabled. If it's not enabled, please do ensure that it is enabled after this, and we can then proceed. Close Docker Desktop with the X, and you'll see that it will remain running in your service tray. This is what we need. Right, let us go back to our download file and run the server's installation again. Click yes on the user access control screen. Now get a installation prompt. I'm going to choose to install my dual universe on my second drive, D drive, games folder. You can install it anywhere you like. The defaults are fine. So let's hit install, and you'll see it'll pop up a black screen with white text running some commands for you. What it's going to do now is it's going to pull down all the various Docker containers for the different services. It's going to start with a service container, which will run secondary commands to pull the rest of the containers down. Let this proceed and finish, and then we'll continue. And there we have it. After a short while, your containers will have been pulled down, and you can hit any key to proceed. We'll hit next on the install screen and type in an admin password. This admin password should be secure enough, but not contain any advanced characters at this point. We can update this password through the back office screen a little later. Please make sure to keep it alphanumeric and at least 4 characters. Enter the IP address the players will use to connect to the server. If you're only connecting from localhost, then leave it blank. So from here, we'll choose our workstation IP address. Or if you're connecting for yourself only, again, leave it blank. Click next, and this will run a few more screens for you. Once these screens are all finished, we'll have a working installation of our server, and we can then try and connect to it. Okay, let's close this out. Now we need to open our back office. So we'll open up a browser, connect to our workstation IP address on port 12,000. This is an HTTPS port. Make sure that you put that in the front. You'll get a connection as in private, but that's okay. It's a self-signed certificate. So click on advanced and then click on continue. The back office login username will be admin, and the password will be the one you set during the installation process. Click on login. First thing we'll do is click on users, admin, and we'll reset our password. Now that we have a secure password, we can proceed. Let us create a test user to log in with. Here, your username is case sensitive. The login screen display should be minimum of 4 characters. And create the user. You'll see that the user starts with no roles. In order to log into the game, we need to add at least the game role. Let's show you what it looks like without the game role. Join. And you'll see there's a screen error there. It says game time is required to connect to the persistent universe. So let's go back to our back office. We'll click add role to have the role added, and then we can try and join again. There we go. Now you have your local instance that you can play with on your local area. This will just be for you and your other workstations on our network. No connections to the outside world as of yet. There's your avatar create screen. Let's log out for now and take another look. In back office, you have a number of things you can change. You have a blueprint import screen, so we can import a blueprint. Let's do that now. Choose file, downloads directory, go for Swamp Donkey. Make sure that the logins here, player ID, set to a valid player, and we'll load it up. We can then also give this blueprint to the player as a full blueprint. Now, when we go to, if you're interested in getting your blueprints from the original MMO, you can head on over to meshexporter.dualuniverse.game, and let's take a look. Here you'll need to connect using your game account, and your objects will be available for you to download. Downloads will end with a .blueprint or a .json file extension. Both of these are acceptable and can be imported using the blueprint importer. Right, another thing to take a look at is constructs. Your planets are all constructs, Alioth being number 2. You can see Alioth position and any properties that you'd like to edit. The other popular thing to do is under item hierarchy to edit some settings. For example, we can search for schematics. And if you don't like schematics in the game, a common thing to do is simply to delete them. This will disable the schematic engine and your game will run without them. Make sure you run a backup before you do anything like this. All right, let's log into the game again and see what it looks like. Sometimes all it takes is a restart of the stack. So what we'll do is we'll open up a browser window. We'll browse to where we have the game installed. In my case, it's Dual Universe in Games folder. And from here, I will right click in a blank space and I will go open in terminal. This gives me access to commands like the Docker compose and the scripts directory. So here I will type scripts /down.bat Mr. S, and this will shut down the stack. It just takes a minute to shut down all the databases and dependencies. Then I can type scripts /up.bat. This will start the containers up again in the order they need to be started, with a quick test to make sure Postgres is actually running. If Postgres is not running yet, it will retry after a 5-second pause until it does eventually start. There we go. And then it continues to start up the dependent containers. Okay, we're back at the command prompt. So let's leave that and let's try to log in again. Excellent. There we go. Let's choose an outpost, add a speeder, confirm. Then we'll choose somewhere to start our game. So let's go for somewhere on Haven. It's fun to start. Yes, let's start here. So we'll zoom in and we'll choose somewhere close to the market. That seems about as good as any. Start there. We'll just, in this case, skip the videos. Leave those for you to enjoy.
Greetings.
Let's hit the tutorial.
Congratulations on being chosen for the Rebirth program. Soon, you will join Novians who arrive like you in the Helios system aboard the Ark ship. While your lander is preparing its descent, have a look around by moving your mouse and enjoy the view. Below you will see the Moon Haven. This is a
It is necessary to complete the tutorial up to the point where you've stepped out of the lander and onto the planet. If you do not complete this process, you can, in fact, run. So let's let the lander get down to the surface. We can look around and enjoy the view.
I'm Ophelia, the Ark ship AI. I am here to guide you through your first steps in this universe. Your lander is now entering Haven's atmosphere. The preferred mode of travel in the Helios system is by ship.
And that's warm re-entry.
Piloting skills is
Extravagant.
Let's start
You can
now.
see our speed in the top right corner. 200 kilometers an hour is a little fast to hit the dirt. So what the tutorial says, we hold down control, speed slows us down. Okay.
Deploying territory unit. Congratulations, you have just landed your first ship. Hold the interact key to exit the pilot
So let's
seat.
exit our pilot seat by holding down F
The
and
launch
step
pad
off
field
onto the
is
surface.
deactivated. Welcome to
Now we
Haven.
can hit Shift
You're having
Backspace
a long journey on the Ark.
to abort the tutorial. I only recommend doing this if you're a well-practiced veteran and this is not your first rodeo. All right. Now let's head up our inbox and you'll see that we have an outpost and a speeder, just as we selected. But also we have our blueprint core that we created earlier. So right click, create blueprints, create one, yes, right click, equip, and we can then, if we had the resources in our inventory, place our blueprint. And that's it for this session, folks. Thank you for watching, and remember, please share with your friends, like and subscribe. It really helps get the channel going. All the best.